Are you interested in expanding your knowledge regarding your craft? Or perhaps filling the empty pages of your witchy grimoire? You have heard that salt is for protection, but another witch on TikTok told you that salt is for warding. Your intuition reminds you that salt is for preserving. So which one is it? Which are the staple herbs for protective magic? Which herbs aid in banishing? Let's get into it. But first, hi, I'm Nettura. I'm a practicing witch of just over 6 years, and I specialize in protection magic and decoding karma. On this channel, we discuss all things witchcraft, spiritual warfare, and astrology, while I also provide you with collective readings and occasionally my music. If my services such as 2-card, 5-card, or 10-card personalized tarot readings from me, or if you would like me to guide you in casting your spell work, I have linked my Buy Me a Coffee in the description, or you could go to buymeacoffee.com/Nettura. Without further ado, let's get into herbs and their associated magical properties. Disclaimer, it would be basically impossible for me to make a list of every single protective herb that exists, and I'm also limited by my own experimentation and experience. Therefore, in this list, I have only added herbs that I have personal experience with, such as practically. On this video, I'll also talk about the concepts of entities versus spirits. So if you are not sure about what defines an entity versus what defines a spirit, then you can watch my video. It's called Inside the Mind of Monitoring Spirits. You don't need to watch it all, but the start of it, basically, I explain the difference between spirits and entities, at least in my perspective. So yeah, let's get into it. Protection, preservation, and banishing. Let's discuss herbal magic and which herbs are associated with protection, preservation, and banishing. Starting with rosemary. Rosemary protects the spell from being reversed or obstructed by other practitioners. So it's kind of like a lock on your spell. It also promotes permanence or longevity in results. And rosemary is also anti-aging. So that doesn't only count for beauty magic, in my opinion, for anti-aging, keeping yourself young and whatever, especially if you're a woman and you're so scared of getting wrinkles, rosemary would be good. But also for the aging of the spell. When you have a jar, let me just give you an example. Let me show you. So for example, look at this jar of mine. This is a glamour magic jar, but do you see that it's gotten a bit darker over time? It's gotten darker, it's gotten muddy. The thing is, it still smells nice. Like, it's not like expired, or anything. It still smells nice, but I didn't use rosemary in this, and I probably should have, because it's gotten all like muddy, old, crusty, and I find myself that it's not as strong as it used to be last year when I made it. So that's an example of when you should use rosemary in your spells, especially if you're gonna use jars and keep it as an active spell rather than just a candle and you're done, If you want to keep the spell active and temporarily permanent, I assume nothing's truly permanent, you get my point, then I think rosemary would be an incredible idea for that. Now let's move into salt. So salt in general, when I mean general, I mean kind of all the salts combined, but also specifically table salt, the one you cook the pasta with, yeah. It is good for protection from malevolent spirits or general energies, like disruptions and stuff like that. It's also good for warding away ground spirits as well as some insects. Now, I personally believe that ground spirits and insects are one. I believe that insects are ground spirits, so that's their spiritual decoding. But if you see them differently, then there's that. And salt is also good for preservation of protection. So again, let's take back to when, I don't know if in anyone else's country, to be honest, I'm not that well versed in history of preservation of food and stuff, but in my country, when we had the World War II, they used to use, I don't know what they're called, like, a well in the floor, but it's not for water, it's just a well, like just it's just a hole in the floor, right? And they used to put meat in it to because they were homeless and they didn't have food and stuff like that, right? Because of the war. And they used to put meat in it, and they used to preserve it with a lot of sea salt. They used to scrape the sea salt off the cliffs and bastions, yeah. And they used to put it on the food to preserve the food so that they don't go hungry. So taking back to that kind of history thing, yeah, that's now personally my own folk magic, where I come from, is my culture. But I mean, if your country had war in it and stuff like that, and there's a lot of poverty, then I think this would count for your type of folk magic as well. You would it would do well for your ancestry connections and stuff like that. So yeah, anyways, salt preservation, basically. So now, specifically Himalayan pink salt it wards away malevolent lovers. So again, Himalayan salt is pink, right? So it's to do with the heart chakra. It's about empathy. It's about, well, love in general. It's about forgiveness. It's about counteracting envy. So yeah, wards away malevolent lovers. It also wards away manipulative or lying spirits. And it also promotes the guarding of the heart. So, for example, if you are single and you don't want to be romantically involved in any way, you don't want anyone to come to you, you're not ready, you just want to heal, you want to be alone, leave me the fuck alone, I want to heal, right? Or for example, if you're in a relationship, but you, especially as a woman, I mean, if you're like a really beautiful woman and you're in a relationship and you have men coming to you, trying to flirt with you, and it's just so fucking annoying and it's causing disruptions in your relationship, using Himalayan salt would help a lot because you're warding away people that are interested in you, okay? So, you could use it in love magic, but with an intention, because you have to make sure that you're not warding away everyone, you know? You need to make sure that you're only warding away the people that you don't want to come to you. So be careful when you're using it for that. Sea salt specifically. Sea salt is more concentrated on preservation. It's more like, for example, if you're doing beauty magic for your skin, for example, you have like a lot of acne and you're doing beauty magic, you're casting glamour spells specifically to heal your skin, right? And you keep breaking out, like you're doing everything you can, you're washing your face correctly, you're not leaving makeup on your face, you're eating healthy, whatever, and your skin is still breaking out and you feel like your glamour spell, for example, isn't staying as permanent as you would like it. It's going away too quickly and you have to keep redoing it and it's not lasting, stuff like that. You can use sea salt and it will be stronger on preserving the spell, especially if you have like fresh herbs and stuff like that in it. Especially you should use sea salt for that. Now specifically black salt. Now apparently there is a natural black salt and it comes from India. I assume it's very rare if you're not from India. So a lot of witches actually make it with charcoal. Black salt is especially effective for banishing, okay? So you have the general salt is for protection, preservation, and warding, okay? Himalayan is more about warding. Sea salt is more on preserving, and black salt is more on banishing, okay? And like warding and stuff like that. So that's the specifics. So yeah, black salt is stronger for banishing spirits. And it's also very good for banishing people that work with spirits. So if there is someone in your life and they keep coming to you, being attracted to you, and you're trying to move away from them, but they keep coming to you and they're not getting the hint that like, hey, we're, you know, and you can sense that there's like a sense of spirit that they're dealing with unconsciously and the spirit is kind of harming and siphoning you. You can use black salt to ward that person away. Black salt's also great for banishing and monitoring spirits. And again, I have lots of videos about that if you want to go check that out. It also can host a shield from malevolent spirits. And it's also used for banishing bad luck. Now, Hawaiian red salt. I have personally never heard of this before, but it exists. I personally would use it for protection against physical harm because it's red, right? It's for the root chakra. It's about action. And salt is about preservation and protection and warding away. So what will it be for? Logically, protection against physical harm. When I researched it, a lot of it says that a lot of witches use it for love magic. Again, I personally would never use salt for love magic unless I'm specifically using the Himalayan salt to ward away certain people. That's personally my take on it. I don't think that salt attracts. I personally think that salt repels, okay? Even if you take it like in real life, you know, practically. Some salt is actually used to ward away certain bugs, certain insects. I personally use it to ward away insects from my windows. So I don't see how attraction can be used with salt, but again, it's more of a culture thing. So it depends on your culture. I guess if you are Hawaiian, then you could use it for love magic and possibly it would work for you because that's your bloodline, right? That's your tradition. So again, this is more about tradition and where you come from and culture and stuff like that. Let's move on to basil, or basil if you're American. I personally use basil for confidence work. Okay, that's what I use it for personally, and that's what it works best for me. In my opinion, Basil works best for protection of your ego and confidence. So for example, if you're dealing with an argument, you're always arguing with someone in your life or with your parents or something, and they're constantly picking at you, they're always nitpicking, and you did this and I think you're a horrible person because you did that, use basil to shield and protect your confidence from being chipped out and siphoned. Basil is good for halting negative self-talk. So if you're having a moment where you're really criticizing yourself, like, I don't know, maybe you got fired from your job or something, you're like, oh my god, I'm such a fucking failure, use basil and it will help you stop negative self-talking so much, and it'll help in your self-concept. Basil also promotes the protection of finances. You know, green, heart chakra, money, you see. Chamomile protects the house from evil. It's also a great shield against malevolent spirits, and chamomile can also be used to break small curses, or hexes, I guess. Eucalyptus is good for the protection of health. It's also good for protection of home, and it repels bugs and ground spirits, so kind of similar of salt. Star anise helps in breaking bad luck. So it's a bit similar to black salt in that sense. I would personally argue it's a bit stronger, but it depends on the person. Star anise is also great as a shield against ill wishes, like evil eye, and also a shield from negative forces. Star anise promotes connection to the soul star chakra, which fuels divine protection. So I'm sorry I don't have it around me and I feel like getting up again, but if you know what star anise looks like, it's like a small herb thingy, I guess, and it's shaped of a star. So to me, I personally take that, since it's a star, right? Soul star chakra, right? And it's also black or brown. It's like a very, very, very dark brown. Personally, to me, I associate black and dark brown with the color of the Earth star chakra, okay? And since it's a star, to me, it's the way I logically deduct it is, it's like it connects the pole of your Earth star chakra and your feet to the pole of the soul star chakra at the top of your crown, around up here, kind of. Oops, the pole here, yeah. Which, I mean, if you're connected to the soul star chakra, it creates divine protection for you. So if you wish for divine protection, star anise is great. Curry powder. I love using curry powder, not only for cooking, but even for my spell work. I love curry powder so much. And not many people actually think of using curry powder because it's very foodie, you know? But curry powder is great for banishing evil. It's also good at providing physical protection. And since it's yellow, it connects, well, orangish yellow, I guess. I personally see it as yellow. Connects to the solar plexus chakra, which is for confidence, right? So it protects the ego and self-concept. So similar to basil in that aspect. Cumin powder, also known as jeera. I love using jeera in my spells as well. It's good for providing a physical shield if you want your physical bubble to be a bit sharper. And also it's great for preventing theft as well as banishing evil. So as you can see, a lot of the herbs have similar significance, but there's different specifics, right? Coriander. Great for banishing malevolent spirits and entities. It also protects from emotional pain as well as the protection of health. So coriander is very associated with the heart chakra, right? As well, it's brown, so I personally see the significance with the earth star chakra. So that's where I see the protection from spirits and entities, because, you know, the ground spirits, right? You're protecting against them. But it's also great for emotional stuff. Dill. Now, dill is more known for money magic, but I personally also use it for protection. Dill is great as a shield against spells made by other witches. It's also great for the protection of home against evil, as well as, obviously, protection of finances. Let's go into baking soda, or sodium bicarbonate. As well, not many people know that baking soda is great for spell work. I love using baking soda. It's incredible. It's very versatile. Oh, also, by the way, I don't know why I forgot to mention this in the beginning, but a lot of these herbs that I'm listing for protection, preservation, and banishing also have significance for love magic or money magic, etc. However, this video is about protection, so that's what I'm listing them for. But there's other things I didn't mention about these herbs because they're for other forms of magic, right? I'm not giving you everything about everything because we would sit here for a really long time, so I'm gonna split them into different topics. So, baking soda. It's great for spiritual protection through alignment with the crown chakra. Baking soda is very, very connected to the crown. It also hosts a metaphysical shield against evil, negative energy, spells of other witches, and malevolent spirits and entities. Very good for spiritual warfare, fighting against spiritual warfare. Baking soda is also great for collecting evil eye and returning it to sender. It also wards away energies that are not for your highest good. So imagine you're being sent a lot of negative energy, right, from somebody. And usually a lot of people would say, do a transmutation ritual. Okay, sure. However, some energy is just so low, so disgusting that I personally reject it. Like, okay, I use some of it, but there's still some energy that I find like just truly unworkable. So it's great for sending it back, warding it away, throwing it out. If you want to dispose of metaphysicality, I guess, you can use baking soda for that. Next, lavender. Great for protection of the third eye chakra. Why? It's purple. It's also for protection in liminal spaces, such as dreams and the borderline. The borderline between wake and sleep, wake and REM sleep, that the start of your sleep, that's called the borderline. It's great for protection there. If, for example, you've got a lot of spiritual warfare affecting you and you're dreaming about it, you're having these fucking fever dreams and you can't get away and you just want to rest, use lavender. It's also great as a shield from negativity and discomfort. Lavender is a very comfortable herb. It's comfort. It's all about comfort. Lavender has the same significance as smoking weed. This is really strange, but it's, when you smoke weed, you have this certain comfort, fuzzy feeling, right? That's what I associate lavender with. Next, oregano. Wards off demons and entities. So it's a bit stronger here in warding. It has more of a hierarchy. Yeah, oregano is like at the top of the strength hierarchy for warding away spirits and demons and entities and stuff like that. Oregano is also great for protection of health as well as protection from old lovers. If you keep dreaming about the same person that you're not associated with, or if you feel grief from the heartbreak you had 6 months ago, use oregano. Parsley, wards of entities specifically. Also a great anti-siphoning herb. It's also used for home protection in general, and it's good for protection of health. Sugar. I know, you're very shocked because sugar is used to attract. So how are we gonna banish if we're gonna attract? Let me tell you. Sugar serves as a trap for harmful entities and malevolent spirits. So if you have some time on your hands and you want to fuck with someone, okay? Imagine you have these entities that keep being sent to you, keep trying to invade themselves in your house, and warding away didn't really work because they're stronger than that. They're being sent by somebody, so the entity has more authority kind of than your usual one. You can use sugar to trap it, so that you can kind of like jail it, like spiritual jail, lock it in there, and then you can either take control of the entity and you can use it for whatever you want, or you can trap it and then force it to be sent back to their original sender, or throw it out somewhere else. It's great for this. Lemon pepper, also known as yellow pepper. It's great for protection in the spirit world. So similar to lavender, kind of. But lavender is more related to the dream state and the theta waves, but the lemon pepper is more about kind of like physical protection in the spirit world. So, for example, if you keep having these recurring fever dreams and nightmares, and you're moving in your dream, you're physically moving because your dream is so vivid that you're walking around, you're moving, you're yelling while you're sleeping, you don't even know, or you wake up like or you wake up choking or something. Lemon pepper is great because it protects your physical body from being affected in the spirit world. It also helps to ward off negative energies in general, just the very base of the energy, not necessarily for spirits, but more about the energy itself, kind of. It's more versatile. Black pepper. Obviously, you knew it was going to be here. Black pepper is great for general banishing, so if you don't have many herbs and you kind of just want to use whatever's in your house and you just want to banish something really quick, black pepper is great. It's very versatile in banishing. Whatever you want to banish, you can use black pepper. Now, obviously, it depends on the strength of the attack, right? So if you just have just a spirit came by and you just want to banish it, use a bit of black pepper. But if it's like a strong entity sent by a person, or if it's a ghost, someone died in the house you're living in previously and there's the ghost lingering, then you need to use a lot of black pepper. You need more strength, right? But, black pepper anyway, it's still really great for this. Now, specifically, what I love to use black pepper for is for blocking the spread of lies. A lot of people don't talk about this, but that's what I personally love using it for. And also, black pepper is very strong. The strongest part of this herb, do you call black pepper a herb? I don't know. It's great for protection, okay? Like everything's protection that we're talking about, but in general, it's a strong word. It's a stronger word for protection. I don't know why, to be honest. Maybe because it's black, so it has that certain potency energetically. Maybe something like that. I don't know. Now, paprika, or red pepper, as I like to call it, is a curse breaker. Okay, so it's a bit stronger. Chamomile is like a hex breaker. Okay, so there's curses are the strongest, and there's hex. In my opinion, chamomile is more for a hex, just a little tiny curse. Paprika is great for proper curses, okay? Proper curses, like for example, you have this giant love curse and everyone you get with keeps cheating on you. Paprika, okay? You want to get rid of this curse. Paprika is also great for warding away violent people. Again, it's red, it's associated with action, and it's also associated with blocking and warding. Pepper, So yeah, it's great for warding away violence. And paprika is also good for protection against evil, generally. That's it, that's this video done. Hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something. I will hopefully make more videos about herbs and their significance, about other topics, so about like love magic, money magic, what else is there? I don't know, other things, I guess. On the topic of witchcraft, I have also made a video about candle magic. It's about everything, like it's a mega video about candle magic. I will link it below. I also have a video about cleansing spell. If you want a quick cleansing spell, you want to copy mine, okay? I have a video about it. I will link it below as well. If you enjoyed me, please like, please subscribe to my channel, comment your thoughts if you want, help me with some engagement. And again, if you would like my services in regarding tarot readings or help with costing your spell work, I will link my services below in my description. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.